Welcome to Cocktails and Convo. I am Sharena, aka XOXO Sharena on Instagram and Twitter. Today is Wednesday, so that means I'll be pairing up with the co-host. We'll be sitting back, sipping wine, and discussing the topic of the week. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and sit back and enjoy today's episode. Hey friend, let's talk about goals. Weight loss goals, glow up goals, hair goals. And for those that want to make a little extra money, let's talk about side hustle goals. As a health and lifestyle ambassador, I paired up with It Works to offer you Slimming Gummies, which attacks your pinchable fat. That means stomach fat and back fat Betty. Sis, gone. All from taking gummies. No caffeine, no stimulants added. Now, who knew that glowing up started from the inside? Just celery and super greens can definitely help you with that. We also offer skin products for those that like face masks or beauty products. If you're interested, we have that as well. Now for my queens that are looking to lose some weight this year, we offer the Slimming Gummies. And then we also offer Skinny Brew Coffee, which is definitely one of my faves. However, if you're not a real coffee drinker and you don't want something that's strong, no problem. We have keto coffee that will work best for you. Now let's not talk about that Thermal Fight X. With these products, you can definitely lose up to 30 pounds in 90 days. Did you hear me? 30 pounds in 90 days. Talk about hitting goals this year. If you're interested in getting a jump start on your body goals, head over to xoxosharena.com and click It Works in the menu and become a loyal customer today. Now, please read the loyal customer description thoroughly before submitting an order. Now, for those that have side hustle goals, let's accomplish that in the next break. Now on with the show. Hey girl, hey. So it is Wednesday. I am back for a solo episode. This will be the first episode of my solo series. So we all will collectively, and when I say we, I mean me, you, the whole community will come together and collectively discuss today's topic right after this break. Hey sis, you. Yes, you. The one that said she would get out of her comfort zone in 2021? Or the one that said she was going to launch her own business? Or are you the one that said in 2020 you would no longer live paycheck to paycheck? Or maybe you're the one that's been watching us from the sidelines wondering if you should give this brand ambassador lifestyle a go. Well, you'll never know unless you shoot your shot. And guess what? It's only $39 to enroll today. $39. If you're ready to join, or if you want more information, text me directly at 248-677-1515. Once again, text me directly the word join to 248-677-1595. Talk to you later. As you know, this podcast is appropriately named Cocktails and Convo. So before I jump into this conversation, let's discuss my cocktail. So what I did was I took some Tennessee honey, put it in a cup with some ice. I added some lemon. I don't really have a name for it. I don't know, but I just know that if I had a little bit of Coca-Cola, I would have just hit a little like splash of Coke in there and gave it like this whole tea feel. So I'm gonna try that because the Tennessee and honey and lemonade is just okay, but it really feels like it's missing something, and I feel like it's some Coke. So maybe I'll try that next episode. So I hope that gave you ladies and possibly gentlemen some time to get your drink together, put your feet up, and we will get right into today's topic. Okay, so like I said, I'm starting with a solo series, and there is a topic that has been on my heart, on my mind all year. It probably started sometime last year. And let's just jump right on into it. That topic is about time management as well as prioritizing your time. So the number one thing that I always hear people say is, I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. I can't do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. That's all I hear. I don't have the time. But we'll sit there and binge a whole Netflix series. And that's no shade to people that binge Netflix series, because I do it all the time. But I am basically trying to let you know that you have time. You have more time than you realize. And look, you have the same 24 hours that Beyonce has. Now I understand Beyonce has a whole team, but at the beginning, when it was just her mama, Solange, and her daddy, they had to time manage and prioritize their time to get to Beyonce, who Beyonce is today, to have the team she has today to help her to get so many things done within the 24 hours. That I understand. But at the same time, you have the same 24 hours she does. And she can get things done in 24 hours. So that means you can too. It's really not even 24 hours because we got to go to sleep. The only difference is she learned how to manage her time. So I am going to help you guys with some tips and some hacks that I've learned over time about how to manage your time. So first things first, let's let go of excuses. The whole sentence, I don't have time, you got too much time on your hands, like any type of phrase like that. Let's work on the mindset first in order to make any change, which has been a common theme throughout these episodes. We talked about it on body goals. We talked about it on the B word episode. You got to always start with your mindset. So if you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to listen to her talk about time management, but in the back of your head, you like, but I still ain't got time, but I'm going to listen. That's the number one thing we need to work on. Let's work on that mindset. You have to have a mind shift first and stop saying, I don't have time when you have time. So let's just change the phrase to, I have time for that. I have time for that. I can get this done because I have time to do it. Let's just change the phrases, right? Now, after we worked on your mindset and we stopped saying those negative phrases, we changed them to positive phrases. Now we have to write things down. Now I know you know everything that you need to get done today. Duh. I mean, you're the woman that you are. So of course you know everything you need to get done, right? But to help yourself out, let's write it down. Let's declutter our mind a little bit. Let's take some stress off of ourselves and let's write everything down. The best thing to do is to get a daily planner. A daily planner has been the one thing that I've purchased last year, the end of last year. That's been the most helpful thing that I could ever buy myself, was a daily planner. They have them on Amazon. Just put in daily planner. Purchase you one. I think I got mine at Barnes and Noble, because honestly the one I got from Amazon was the wrong one. So be careful. Don't look too much at what the planner looks like in the colors and, oh, I want this color over that color, because you might do what I did and buy a weekly planner and not a daily planner. So make sure you get a daily planner. Why? Because there's hour blocks in a daily planner and you want to start with a list of all the stuff you need to get done. So let's write down everything we need to get done first, on your sheet or on another piece of paper. It doesn't really matter. Then let's go to the daily planner and let's look at the hours. And let's start writing down those things that need to get done within the hours that you have set. So this isn't just a free-flowing time management. I'm going to get to it when I get to it. Oh, I know I got to do this, this, and this. So I'm going to just get it done and we just going to flow with the wind. No, we are being very specific about our time management. Why? Because time is important. It's the one thing that you cannot get back. That's why it's so expensive. So we're not going to be free-flowing with it. We're going to be very specific about our time. And this way, it'll help us get things done. So you wrote down your list. You got everything you need to do written down. And then we're going to look at those hour blocks. So you can start deciding and looking. Don't write them down yet, but we can start figuring out what needs to be done at these times. And then, so I'm looking at my notes, but let me jump ahead a little bit. We also want to prioritize. So as you write things down, make sure you are prioritizing. You can start with a list of everything that needs to get done and then prioritize what needs to get done first versus what can get done last. You know, it's not really time specific. It just needs to get done in that day. Also, another tip is start with the hardest. Whatever you need to get done in that day, when you write it down, and as you're writing these things down, you feel deep down inside like, I need to do this and I don't want to do it. For me, it was my taxes. OMG, I cannot stand doing taxes. So I wrote everything I needed to get done, whatever day that was. And then I had to start with my taxes because that was the one thing, as soon as I wrote it down, I rolled my eyes just by writing it down. So that was the first thing that morning that had to get completed before I can move on to anything else. I had to go ahead and do that. Yes, I rolled my eyes the whole time doing it just because it's just an irritating task and I just don't care to do it. Okay? So start with what is the hardest, whatever you don't want to do. If it's, oh, the dishes need to be done. Oh, I can't stand doing dishes. And that's what we're going to do first thing. Just get it done. Then as you go through your list, it makes everything easier. So like I said, I kind of skipped ahead of myself, but I want to help y'all with writing your list down. So as you prioritize what needs to be done first versus what needs to be done last, then let's look at our hour blocks. And now we're looking at our whole day. So from the morning to night, what needs to get done at what time, by what time. Now, after you have every hour written out, and you figure it out what needs to be done when, the next thing you want to do for those, this isn't for everybody, but some people kind of need help with focusing. If that's you, then this might be the step that you want to take, and that would be to set multiple alarms. So you have alarms on your phone. If you have Alexa, you have alarms. If you have Google Home, I do believe you can set alarms. Set alarms. So if I have to complete this task and I need this done by 9 o'clock and it's 7:30, I'm setting an alarm at probably like 8:50 to give me a heads up. So I have from 7:30 really to, let's say, 8:50 to get this one task done. If it's not done by 8:50, I got 10 minutes to get it completed. Now, I understand some things might run over and push your schedule back, but if you set an alarm, you have in your mind that this has to be done at 9 o'clock. So when someone calls you at 8 o'clock and they want to start having a conversation about any and everything, the more you sit on that phone and you watch that time go by, the more you're like, oh my gosh, I'm about to be so off schedule. And it'll help you focus and jump off that call because, honey, we can talk later. We can catch up. We can gossip. We can do all that later. But now you're throwing my schedule off. So let me get these things done and then I'll hit you back. And that's the best way to keep you on schedule. And then sometimes you'll notice that you'll do some tasks a little quicker than others. And then you have extra time in between, a little breather, do a little dance, watch something, do something else. I don't know, find something to do with that extra time. And then 9 o'clock, that alarm goes off. So boom, next task. What do I have to do from this time to this time? That will keep you focused and keep you on track. Now, here's a little bonus. I really don't have it in any type of order. I just kind of threw it in there. And what can help you the most with time management is to wake up earlier. I know nobody wants to hear that. Who wants to get up earlier? I naturally wake up, spring, summer, I get up at like 7. When we fall back in fall and winter, I get up at 6 in the morning. My body's just set up like that. It does not matter what I do. Like, I can't sleep in. Sleeping in for me is probably like 8:30 in the morning at the latest. So for me, it's more like a lay in, not a sleep in. So because I just wake up on my own like that, some days I don't necessarily push myself to wake up earlier. But if you are a very busy person and you need to get things done, it may help you to just wake up earlier. If you get up at, let's say, 6 o'clock, and you normally get up at 8 o'clock, and now you're pushing yourself to set an alarm to get up at 6, that's 2 extra hours a day that you're waking up, which means that's if we just go Monday through Friday. That's 10 extra hours a week. That's 40 extra hours a month. So those 2 extra hours actually will help you if you're busy. Sometimes you just need to get up at 6 and just have morning time, like meditation, affirmations, brush your teeth, stretch. Sometimes you just need that extra time. And if it's waking up 30 minutes earlier, an hour earlier, whatever the case may be, move that alarm up so that you will have that extra time to get those things done. And then it'll kind of slow your morning down so that you're not up, jumping out the bed, rushing. You have more time to ease yourself into your day. Now, number 3 is what you probably don't want to hear the most. But in order to manage your time, you have to kill your distractions. They gotta go. So turn the TV off. I literally do not turn my TV on unless it's like literally TV time. Like for me, it's TV time. I don't cut my TV on while I'm working. I don't cut my TV on in the morning. I do not watch, support, nor participate in the news. So I don't even cut the TV on in the morning. I literally don't cut the TV on till later in the day, unless I have like YouTube on and it's playing like, I don't know, Tiny Desk concerts back to back, and I'll just have it turned down while I'm working, or I'll have like some type of classical like piano music in the background, like something to calm me down. Sometimes while I'm working it can be stressful, so that helps. But other than that, if I'm doing something where I need to focus, I really don't have the TV on. If I just want music playing, then I typically just use Alexa. So you got to kill the distractions, turn the TV off. Now I know, don't like stop the podcast when I say this one, but y'all gotta shut social media apps down. Like, if social media is to the point where it has a hold on you and it has power over you, you gotta break up. Now, I'll talk about myself with this one. Sometimes I'm supposed to be doing something else on my phone. This happens all the time. I'm supposed to be doing something or checking my email or something that has nothing to do with social media. And then guess what happens? I look up and I'm on Facebook. And I'm posting on Facebook. And now because I posted on Facebook, now I got to turn around and post on Instagram because they got to mirror each other. But that's not what I was supposed to be doing. So it becomes a distraction because some of the things that I should be doing or getting done or checking on or whatever the case may be, I just completely go to the left when it comes to social media. If you have issues like I have with social media, you might just have to shut your social media apps down. You might have to move your social media apps off of your front page. That's probably what I should do because that's probably one of my issues. My social media apps are on my front page of my iPhone. I probably need to move them back. So if you're having these same issues that I'm having, then do the same steps. Move those social media apps. Take breaks just so that you can break yourself from those habits. But I promise you, all the memes, all the conversations, all the things you think you're going to miss, you're not going to miss because your friends will catch you up later and the majority of all the information will still be on social media when you get back. So it's okay to just kind of break yourself from social media. Now, the fourth thing that I have, and then that moves me right into my next note, to silence your phone. Like, it's okay to silence your phone. Put your phone on silence. If you have, I do believe iPhones and Androids now, you can use Do Not Disturb. And just set your phone where you can't receive any calls. Or if that doesn't work for you, just put it on silent. So all the notifications don't even bother you. If it's that serious and you have all your notifications on, maybe we need to go into the settings and start adjusting our notifications because every app does not need your attention. They just don't. Now, like banking apps, they can have all my attention. I need to know when my money is coming out and going in. I need to know everything that's going on. Emails, I earlier this year cut my notifications off because it was just getting ridiculous, and a lot of them were like sales promotion emails more than they were things that needed my attention. So I just cut my notifications off. If that's something that you need to do, go into your settings, turn those notifications off, silence your phone, and utilize your planner and get the things you need to do done. Now, once you've actually taken those steps, this is the part that will teach you that you really don't have as much to do. Like when you turn off your phone, you turn off your TV, you silence your phone, and you just sit there. Then that's when you realize, okay, well, what do I really need to get done? So when you have those moments where you're like, okay, I got my whole list done, I don't need to do anything, then that's exactly when you like kind of just sit in silence and just think. And I bet you there's more things that you can get done, regardless if it's work or just stuff around the house. But when we have those distractions going on, it just seems like we're so busy. But when you take that TV and you take that phone, you honestly probably have more time than you realize. And then going back to prioritizing your time. So you can start with taking social media and TV time away from yourself so that you can get things done. But when we go back to that planner and we go back to those hour blocks, if you've gotten all your stuff done and come 8-9 o'clock, your blocks is open, then that's exactly when you prioritize your social media and your TV time. Or you can always prioritize it throughout the day as well. And of course, that tip kind of is subject to change depending on, like, if you use social media for working purposes, then you probably will need to stay on social media throughout the day. But you just have to give yourself time. Like, I'm only going to be on there for 15 minutes. Or I have 15 minutes to post X, Y, and Z on Facebook and on Instagram, and literally put it in a time block. And that's probably a good time to set an alarm so that you can get it done. And then when that alarm goes off, 15 minutes, you may realize that you were scrolling for 15 minutes and you didn't even post like you're supposed to. It'll help you realize what habits you have. And also what habits you need to break, because you, like I said, you have the time. You just have to find it. Now, the last thing I want to cover just real quick, because we're on the topic of time, I literally wanted to just slide something in there just so we can talk about it as a community. But before I stay on topic but change the topic a little bit, let's just go back over those steps. So first things first, we got to get rid of those excuses, change your mindset, stop stating these negative phrases and switch them to positive phrases, because you have time to get things done. If you're a focused woman with things to do, you got enough hours in the day to get them done. Let's stop telling everybody I don't have time. Now, unless you really are trying to tell them like I don't have time because you don't have time for them, keep saying the phrase. You got my support on that one. Once we work on that, first actual action step that we want to take is to write down a list of tasks that we need to complete in the day. Utilize a daily planner and write down all the things you need to get done. We want to prioritize what's the most important versus what isn't. Utilize the hour blocks in your daily planner. And then step 2 is to set multiple alarms. So set alarms throughout the day so that you can stay focused throughout the day and get things done. You want to wake up earlier if you're not a morning riser, or even if you are, you might just want to get up earlier so you have more time in the day. We definitely want to kill distractions. We went through enough distractions last year in 2020. This is 2021. We're trying to get things done. So therefore, we want to kill distractions this year so that we can stay focused and actually hit those goals that we set at the beginning of this year. If you're easily distracted, let's make sure that we're silencing our phone and going into our settings to change up our notifications. And then also prioritize the social media and the TV time accordingly, of course. That may be throughout your day or it might be at the end of the day. Okay, so now that we ran back through those steps, let's talk about respecting other people's time, because we are just like on the topic of time. So let's just go ahead and discuss that. Now that you're time managing and we're managing, our time correctly, let's also be respectful of other people's time, so that if we say we're going to be somewhere by a certain time, we're actually there on time, if not early. CP time, let it go. Just let it go. It's not leveling us up. It's not really aligned with Black excellence. So we just go let CP time like be what it is for other folks. As for us, if we say that we're going to be somewhere at a certain time, let's get there at a certain time. Let's be there on time. And that also goes back with prioritizing our time. So if you know it takes you 2 hours to get ready, you got to be somewhere at 7, let's not start getting ready at 5 o'clock, because we have to allot the necessary travel time. So if it takes you 2 hours to get ready and it takes 30 minutes to get there, and you got to be there at 7, nobody likes math word problems, right? I know you don't, but this is the only thing that's going to help you this year. So if you got to be there at 7, takes you 2 hours to get ready, takes 30 minutes to drive, then that means we need to start getting ready 2.5 hours early, if not 3 hours. So we want to start getting ready at 4 o'clock so we can be there at 7 o'clock. I know when you say it out loud, it just sounds crazy. Like, why I got to start getting ready at 4 o'clock and I got to be somewhere at 7? And the reason is because we want to be there on time. So you start getting ready at 4 o'clock. It takes you 2 hours to get ready. You should be done at 6, but then of course we forgot something, or we was talking on the phone, or we got distracted. So that pushed our time back when we really got ready at 6:30, which is perfect for us to walk out the door. It takes us about 30 minutes to get there. Boom, pull it up right on time. Like, that's how that works. That's how you get there on time. That's how you respect other people's time, because the meetup agreement is 7 o'clock, so we're going to get there at 7 o'clock, not 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock. We're going to get there at 7 o'clock, because that was what was agreed upon, and we're going to respect each other's time. Look, I know that was just random. I just felt deep down in my spirit like that should be discussed with this conversation of time, because we see it all the time. Let's be honest. And I know you tired of sitting in the parking lot waiting for folks to show up. I'm beyond tired of sitting in the parking lot waiting for folks to show up. So let's talk about it. Let's work on our math word problems, and let's pull up on time accordingly, like we say we're going to do. Or communicate that time just don't work for you and you don't think you're going to make it. I mean, that's always an option too. Anyway, so that wraps up the conversation about time management, prioritizing your time. And yes, I slid in that conversation about respecting other folks' time, because it's time that we start doing that. That's why. Anyway, that wraps up today's episode. Now, before I completely end this episode, I typically ask each of my previous co-hosts a lightning round of 5 questions. There are 5 questions. They all answer them totally different. And I just want to slide in each set of questions at the end of each of my solo episodes. So we will start with Danae. I asked Danae 5 questions at the end of the B Word episode. What's one thing you would thank your younger self for doing?
Being competitive.
What does settling look like to you?
Accepting less than what you believe you deserve.
What is one thing that you do to better yourself daily?
I don't do it daily, but I mean, read scripture.
How do you protect your peace?
I listen to music to make me feel better.
What is one of the most recent lessons you've learned?
Forgive people.
I absolutely love how she answered those questions. Now, as always, thank you so much for listening. And head over to xoxosharena.com. Go over to the blog so that we can continue the conversation about time management, prioritizing your time, and as well as respecting other people's time. Thank you guys. Talk to you next week. Bye.